Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Or, if you're new here, how'd you do? I don't talk like that. I get nervous when I meet people for the first time. But regardless if you're one of my regular viewers or a new viewer, I hope you're having a great day. It's always nice to start on a positive. And the other day I was shopping for some art supplies. I can't remember what I was buying. I think it might have been the watercolour paint or some other kind of paint. I don't know. But this was never my intention, but I came across this. Milk paint. It's paint made from milk. And I was so intrigued and so excited and found it so weird that I had to buy some. And they were on sale, so I bought 12 of them. So I thought we'd test out all these paints in different colours and see what milk paint's about. See if it's any different from just regular paint, I guess. Strange one. I'm excited for it. I'm interested. I hope you are too. Okay, so I'm going to be trying all these colours today. I've got a yellow one, an orange one, a kind of peachy coloured one, a brown, a lighter brown, a bluish, a blue, a green, a darker blue, a black, a kind of grey-green, a red, and an orange. Did they not have a pink? I would have liked a pink or a purple. Maybe I just didn't buy one. And if anyone's wanting to know, this is by Turner's. That's the brand there, and apparently it's a paint that's made in Japan. This video isn't sponsored by Turner's Milk Paint. Now, before we do some swatching, I just want to see what this paint's about. Okay, so on the back of these pots, it says Turner's Milk Paint is safe and water-based. It contains milk elements from Morinaga. I'm not sure what Morinaga is. I don't know whether that's a place in Japan. Possibly. I'll Google it. Oh, that's really interesting. Morinaga is a confectionery company in Tokyo, Japan. This is so weird. This paint gets weirder and weirder. Yeah, so it's like a milk producer based in Japan, and they make like other food stuff. Apparently its colours characteristics are matte and creamy, and the colour palette is inspired by the American frontier. They're all inspired by the American frontier. What is the American frontier? Back to Google. Oh, okay, so like the Old West, the Old Wild West. So it's inspired by the American expansion in mainland North America. They're the colours that they've chosen for. That's a very strange colour palette to be inspired from the American frontier. And what else does it say? You need to shake it well before use. And you're not allowed to mix this paint with water, apparently. And also don't use the paint in an environment that's colder than 5 degrees Celsius. It's warmer than that in here, otherwise I'd be freezing my tits off. And the ingredients for this paint are water, synthetic resin, pigment, and milk casing. So I assume that's the milk that's in this product, and I don't know what that is. Back to Google again, because I think it's important to have these facts. Something I usually overlook. Casein is a family of related phosphoproteins. These proteins are commonly found in mammalian milk, comprising about 80% of the proteins in cow's milk and between 20% and 60% of the proteins in human milk. So this paint has the protein of milk as an ingredient, which makes it a milk paint. Okay, well, I think we all now know what this product is about. A little bit of a history lesson to start us off with. How educational. Now let's get to the fun part and swatch these paints. Now these paints aren't a regular kind of acrylic paint or anything like that, so you don't really use them on paper. It's more for furniture. That's what I've kind of read before this video, because I did do a little bit of research. So I'm going to be doing some swatches on some little pieces of MDF. Right, we'll go for this light brown colour first. Give it a shake. Also, I will say I really enjoy the little packaging. I think the fact that it's got like a little cow on, and it almost feels like a milk tub or something. You also get quite a lot of paint in here. It smells weird. Doesn't smell like milk. It doesn't have a nice smell. It doesn't smell like paint either. It's something that... Does it smell like pickled onion? It's got a strange smell to it. Almost like a pickly smell. Okay, so it's a very watery paint. Okay, that's nice. I feel like this paint is going to be kind of, you know, that kind of chalky furniture paint. I think it's going to be like that. That's a nice colour though. Obviously it's a bit hard to tell because it's a brown on brown, but it's a nice warm brown. And the colour's very saturated. It's very full coverage. It's quite an opaque paint. Oh, it does actually say on these tubs that it can be used on wood, paper and metal, and it should not be used on plastics, PP, PE, PVC and other soft surfaces as it is likely to crack. So I have a feeling feeling this paint is going to be like an emulsion paint. So any flexible surfaces, it's going to chip away and crack off. It's not a paint that can move. However, I think if you mixed a bit of PVA glue in with it, that would kind of fix it. I mix PVA in with emulsion all the time, especially when it comes to priming canvases. Super cheap and affordable way to prime canvases. Just get some white emulsion paint, mix it with PVA glue, about 1/3 PVA, 2/3 emulsion paint, and then you've got a nice primer. That's what I was taught in uni anyway, and that's how I prime my canvases. Okay, let's move on to this kind of greyish colour. Do you have to keep these in the fridge? Because obviously it's milk. Does it go off? It doesn't say, so I don't think it'll go mouldy or anything. Oh, did I shake it? I don't think I did. I do really like these containers. It's a sad thing to mention, but packaging is really important, especially when it comes to paint. And these lids are attached, and they just kind of like clip on, and then you just peel it back off. It's got a nice feel to it. That's why I'm mentioning it. All right, let's go for this grey colour. These are quite nice little paints. To be fair, I know they're meant for furniture and stuff, but I think I would happily use this in just a regular painting. I feel like I'm doing swatches to find out the next colour of my walls. You know when people paint the little squares on the walls to suss out what kind of colour they want? I feel like I'm doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be painting this wall again, because it means I would have to take everything off the wall, and you can't be asked to do that. Okay, we'll go for this dark blue now. It's kind of like a navy colour. It doesn't have the names of the colours on here. I assume that might be the name of the colour, but obviously I can't speak Japanese or read Japanese, so I don't know what it says. It would be nice if they had like animal puns to their colours, so like I've put myself on the spot, I don't know an animal pun, but it would be fun if they had them. I keep forgetting to shake. Oh, this is more like a dark grey, bluish colour. Oh, that is a nice colour. It's actually more like a slate. Also, because this is kind of like a farm product, and we're talking about milk and cows and stuff, I don't know why, but this past week, going to work, I've been stuck behind a potato truck. A potato truck. Every day, like every morning I set off from work, I get stuck behind this slowest potato truck ever. It's bright yellow, and I know it's a potato truck because it says potatoes on the back of it. It's really annoying. It's almost like our schedules are intertwined, but the potato truck just says pizzas, and I get stuck behind it. So what happens when you live in the countryside? We have potato trucks and tractors. Also on the back of here, it says that the drying time is 10 to 20 minutes touch dry, 1 to 2 days to fully dry. That seems excessive. I don't think it would take 1 to 2 days for this to fully dry. You're not going to put this on thick either. It's going to be quite thin coats. I can already see them swatches starting to dry up a bit, and it's definitely got a kind of matte, chalky look to it, which I was expecting. Right, let's have a look at this. What colour is this? Like a peach. Well, it's not really much of a peach. It's more of a, I don't know, like a non-colour. Kind of like a very light terracotta or magnolia. Yeah, it feels very magnolia. That's a boring colour. I don't like that. Don't think I'll be using that one again. Okay, time for some green. Ooh, this is nice. I can already tell. I love green. It's like a nice forest green, this one. I think some of the colours as well are a little bit, I'm not going to say transparent, but they're a little bit kind of scratchy feeling almost. So I feel like if you were doing some furniture painting with this stuff, or just doing some regular painting, and you wanted it to be super duper full coverage, you would most likely need to do 2 coats. And if anyone is wondering, the paint washes off super easy. You just rinse your brush under some water and it comes out. You don't need like soap or anything like that. Right, time for some greyish blue, I think. Ooh. This is a nice colour. I think this one's my favourite colour so far, actually. I would definitely have a room painted that colour. That's so nice. Time for some yellow. I was expecting this yellow to be a little bit more vibrant, especially from the sticker on the top. It's kind of got a, I don't know, it's like a pastel yellow. Yeah, ugh. It's fine, but it's just very boring. If you're gonna do yellow, like do yellow. But I suppose these colours are inspired by the American frontier, so they must have been really excited by soft, pissy yellow. Ole, ole. I meant to say okay and I nearly said ole. Ole. No, I meant to say okay. Okay, so let's try out some orange paint. Where did Olay come from? Just can never talk, can I? I'm sure I'm getting worse with my words. Another thing recently, just like at the minute, I feel very kind of not distracted, but what's the word? Where you can't kind of motivate yourself to do stuff. What's that word called? Is it motivated? It's not motivated. Distracted. I'm gonna Google it. It's when you just do other things and not the right thing. Distractibility, it's not that. It's literally on the tip of my tongue. You know when you know a word and you just can't. Oh, no, not ADHD. No, it's giving us like loads of mental health advice. I don't need that from my phone. Pronoun maybes? I don't know what a pronoun is. You'll be screaming it at us and I can't think. It's when you want to do things. No, it's not when you want to do things. It's when you're doing things that are No, I can't think of it. Absent-minded, it's not that. It's not distracted. I know it's not distracted, the word I'm thinking of. Do I really care this much? I think I do. Word for when you put things off. Procrastination! That's the word I'm looking for. I knew it. It was literally somewhere around there and I couldn't think of it. I feel very procrastinated at the moment. And I just haven't been getting anything done. I don't know what's wrong with us. Like, I wasn't going to film today because I kept doing things that I didn't need to do. And I was like, oh, I'll get round to it another day. But I was like, no, like, record. You've got milk paint sitting there that needs to be swatched. That orange isn't very nice. It's an okay orange, but like, it's neither here or there really. It's fine. I feel like I just went on a huge tangent there, so I can only apologise. But I suppose that's what I'm going through at the minute. Right, let's try this black out. The black should be good. I'm thinking it should be good anyway. Also, when I was buying these paint colours, they seem to have a lot of kind of like beigey colours and just muted, like boring colours. I tried to buy the most exciting colours I could find. Now, this black looks very promising. Ooh, oh, that is a nice black. I'm kind of glad this black is like a proper black because I have a feeling these paints are more of a muted kind of palette. That's just kind of the formula I think they work with. But this black is like a proper black, so that's good. And they all smell the same. I'm definitely getting pickled onion. I don't know whether that's just me. Probably something wrong with my brain. Okay, time for some lightish blue, I think. It could be like a eggshell, I'm not sure. Oh, this looks nice. Ah, yeah. Oh, that's a nice colour. It reminds us of the other one that I liked, but just a slightly lighter version of it. Ah, you're a nice blue, you. Well done. Right, let's go for a bit of brown. I know brown's quite a boring colour. I think so anyway. But this looks like a kind of rich reddish brown. Looks like a nice brown. Yeah, it's very chocolatey. I was going to make a joke about chocolate milk, but then I reviewed that joke in my head and it was shit, so I didn't say it. Yeah, it's a nice brown colour. Quite warm and a little bit on the red side. And the final colour I've got is, I think it's another brown or a red. I feel like it's going to be a very similar colour to that. Possibly like a orangey terracotta brown kind of colour. Actually, it looks a lot more red than I thought it was going to. Yeah, it's way more red than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, it's a red paint. That's a nice red, that. I'm not a huge fan of red either. It's not like my favourite colour or anything. But that's alright. I don't mind that. Okay, so this is the first lot of swatching I did. And you can see that it's dried down into quite a matte, flat kind of colour. And what I'll try and do is wait for all the other swatches to dry and insert that clip over the top of this. Just to show you what all the other colours look like once they're finally dried down a bit. But when it comes to milk paint, I think it's a very interesting paint. It's something I'd obviously never heard of. The fact that it's got milk in it. I don't know whether the milk plays a huge role in the actual paint. It wasn't a bad paint, it was a nice paint, but if you were kind of curious as to what this paint is actually like, I would compare it to a very matte, chalky feeling emulsion paint. So I think if you wanted like a dupe or you wanted to try something like this, say you couldn't get your hands on it for whatever reason, then just try some emulsion paint. I think everyone knows what emulsion paint's like. I think these tubs cost £9 or around about that price, but I got them on sale for about £3 something. I don't think I would pay £9 for a tub of this, but I definitely would pay £3 because I bought 12 tubs of it. And I can now say that I've painted with milk or milk casing. If anyone knows as well, or is an expert on milk paint, I would love to know the reason why they use milk in it. Is it just kind of like a thing they do to be like, oh, look, we're different, it's milk? Or is there a reason it's got milk in it? Because I just don't understand why. I don't see the point of it. It might be a Japanese thing, it might be a cultural thing, I'm not sure. But anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed today's little milk treat. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you come across any other weird kind of painting supplies or art supplies or anything like that, then feel free to let me know down in the comments because I want to get my hands on them.